Well, as the Palisades and Eaton fire continue to burn in Los Angeles County, the American Red Cross is helping residents affected by the disaster.
Yeah, Molly Reel is standing by this morning, learning more about the organization's mission and also how we can all help. Hey, Molly.
Yeah, thanks, John. And I think that is the question. How can we all help, right? We're hearing the stories. We're seeing the devastation. It's almost crippling. You know, you want to help. You want to make sure your dollars go a long way. So we have teamed up with the American Red Cross. We have Steve Walsh here with the American Red Cross. We have Chief Daniel Berlant with CAL FIRE to tell us a little bit about the need and the relief. So let's start with you, Steve. Of course, when you think of the American Red Cross after a disaster like this, you think immediate basic needs. You brought out this and it just tore my heart open. So let's say, you know, in the immediate aftermath, what is the American Red Cross doing for victims?
So when you come into a shelter, our priority is making sure you have a safe place with a roof over your head. So we're providing that. We're providing a place to sleep, exemplified by the cot, meals, access to resources, and literally what I like to call like the good neighbor factor, which is volunteers that are there to listen. Tell us your story. What do you need? And for the duration that you're there, we're going to listen to that, and we're going to help you transition from the shelter to a safe place that's comfortable.
Yeah, it goes beyond just the things that are keeping you literally alive, and the compassion, the emotional support, you know, the stuffed animals. And Chief Berlant, there is a lot of emotional support that is needed. So you were just down there, boots on the ground, front lines. Tell us what you saw and the incredible need.
Yeah, you know, despite the hard work by our firefighters, there is significant destruction across Altadena, Pacific Palisades. And what I was able to see as we were going into those areas were just people lining the streets, almost like lemonade stands, handing out water, handing out clothes, handing out just anything that they had to help their neighbors. And so, again, while it was incredibly sad, the level of destruction, it was heartwarming to see how Southern California residents were banding together to help each other out.
Yeah, I think we always look for that light. I think we survive on finding the brightness in dark times like this. So that's great to hear. And if you are so moved to donate as well, there are a lot of opportunities to do so. Of course, we have that QR code that you see on your screen. You just hold up your camera to it. Link will pop up. You click on it. Makes it really easy. You can also go to redcross.org/CBS. But we'll be here throughout the morning with Steve and Chief Berlant to hear a little bit more about where those dollars go to and the need. And, you know, just to thank both of you. Of course, we both have, both organizations have local boots on the ground, and we are so appreciative of it. So thank you so much, and we'll get more from them soon.
Thank you so much, Molly.
Thank you.
The fires in Los Angeles County, of course, continue to burn with more wind on the way, unfortunately.
Thankfully, the organizations are stepping up to help the people affected by those fires, including the Red Cross.
Yeah, Molly Reel is standing by, learning more about the organization's mission and how you can help. Molly, I was just looking so far. Almost $520,000 from our CBS.
Nice.
Oh gosh, you love to see that, don't you? And of course, all of that is needed. There is so much work to do. And you know, something that's particularly devastating about wildfires is they happen so quickly. You have to think those 150,000 certain people who have been evacuated, who have been displaced, they did not wake up that morning thinking that was going to happen to them, right? So it does make you think, gosh, am I prepared if it happens to us? So we're with CAL FIRE's Chief Daniel Berlant, and we are with Steve Walsh of the American Red Cross to share some of the advice that they have learned, because they have both been boots on the ground in natural disasters like this. You were just there this weekend in Southern California. So what are the things that people might not necessarily think of when it comes to being prepared for this? Because as we said, you might just have minutes.
You know, across California, wherever you live, it's not a matter of if, but when. And so having a wildfire action plan, preparing now for what are those things you're going to take, making sure you've set aside the important documents, your prescriptions, the photos. Oftentimes we put all that stuff in the rear corner of the closet, but have that accessible, because sometimes you get evacuation notice and you only have minutes to go. And so it's so important that you've thought that through, thought where those are, and quickly grab those when an evacuation order is given.
Yeah, you have to think, you know, clothes. You've seen the generosity of people. If you love your clothes, there will be a lot donated probably. So it's the things that are irreplaceable. And Steve, you were saying, you know, you kind of think about yourself, what you need. In these times when you are displaced, it is especially distressing to children and pets. So how do you think about them?
Well, that's right. I mean, going to a shelter may take time. And remember, kids get restless and they get a little irritable. So think about them. Put a few games. If it's an electronic device, that's fine. Chargers, of course. But pets too. Food, medication. But remember too, whatever you can't bring, that's okay. We'll make sure that you have it when you get there. But the more comfortable you can be, the better. And the last thing, as I said a second ago to you, is if you think you're going to evacuate, let your loved ones know where you're going to be, because it's really hard sometimes to find people when, internet is down, things like that. So people don't worry where you are. They just want to know that you're safe.
Yeah, keep posting on social media. I mean,
Right.
That is the beautiful thing about social media. It is keeping us all connected. And of course, hopefully this all stays hypothetical. We will be prepared if needed. Hopefully it won't happen. But for those in Southern California, it is unfortunately their reality, and they need a lot of help. So Courtney said $520,000. That is incredible, but it needs you need so much more to be able to provide relief, not just right now, but long term. This is the long haul when it comes to relief, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. And as we've said earlier this morning, every small dollar amount counts. Little things, big things, whatever you can give, make sure that these folks are cared for the long haul.
Yeah, $5 makes a big difference if it comes from everyone. Okay, so you see that QR code on the screen. We're making it easy for you. If you get out your camera phone, open up the camera app, link will pop up. You can also go to redcross.org/CBS. Thank you both for your organizations for having boots on the ground and providing the much needed relief down in Southern California. And for those who have donated or will donate, thank you so much for your generosity. Know that it is going a long way.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Molly.